Hey everybody, it's Trudy, and here I am in real life in LA, and I'm here with a very special guest today, my friend Rob Hatch, and he is on the other side of the country right now, but magically we're coming to you, so pay attention, and we're going to talk about paying attention. Pay attention. Rob is a business consulting guy. And he's a dad of 4 kids. And so I am sure the level of distraction in the home life right now, working, school, everything is like off the charts. I've had that situation. I think we're all dealing with that. And it's not letting up anytime soon. So I want Rob to introduce himself a little bit more and tell us about why the hell would he write a book about attention and how did he know? Because he had to have started this a long time ago. How did you know that we are... like attention is like at an all-time low, I think.
I agree. And thanks so much for having me here. It's great. When I wrote the book, I'm someone who struggles with attention issues anyway. In all candor, I had undiagnosed ADHD my entire schooling. I was the kid that they always moved around in class. Has always been a struggle for me. And a lot of what I talk about in the book and the systems that I've developed over the years really come out of a self-preservation and figuring out how can I set things up so that I can actually focus better, because I recognize that I need to, and it's a struggle. It's a lot of work. And how can I make it easier? Because I also like things to be as easy as possible, or at least as simple as possible. And the demands just keep getting larger and larger.
Yeah. Oh my God. You know what? If there's it's almost insane. It's like the level of things that could possibly distract you. We get rewarded for being distracted. And that is, I think everyone sort of knows that intuitively. And yet this is still like at my bedside. But we're going to get into some strategies, because that's what I really liked about this. Okay. So full disclosure, I met Rob and we became friends several years ago at like a social media conference. So literally we were in the heart, in the belly of the beast, right? It's all about how can you do social media and interrupt everyone's day even more efficiently? I'm interested in some of your big ideas, because we are here talking to all sorts of people, like business people and people after work. We're talking about kids who are online and having to do school, which just sucks my butt so hard.
It's brutal.
That's a business term. Suck my butt so hard.
Suck my butt so hard. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's pretty brutal.
Yeah, it's bad. So what are some of the best ideas in there? I will tell you, my personal favorite is putting success in your way, which just makes me feel good every single day when I'm not just tripping myself up. That makes it such a
tell me what you do. What's your version of put success in your way? Because this is one of the things that I find helpful is that put success in your way is flexible. Like your version of put success in your way, my version of that, what that looks like is very different. So do you have an example personally of what you do? Because I
actually do. And it's a Rob thing. Rob taught me this. And one of the ways I put my success in my way is that I know I get really distracted as the day goes on, and I'm a mom and I'm all sorts of things. So I end up getting lots of interruptions. So I do there's a morning block that I do where the first 2 hours of the day, I don't look at my emails. I don't look at my phone. I don't answer messages. The night before, I come up with the 3 things that I know for sure I want to get done and in that first couple hours. And then I hammer on them. So when the whole way goes sideways, I know I have at least a couple of things I'm like, I really had to get that done. And I actually got it done. So yay me.
If we check our email, immediately what we're doing at first thing in the morning when we check our email is saying, what do other people want me to do right now?
Right.
But we justify it. We're like, I'm just getting ready for my day, or let me just check in and see what I'm going to walk into when I go to work. But it's really just a justification. It doesn't actually work. So put success in your way is really based on 3 core principles: that willpower is limited, that decisions, lots of tiny decisions are a distraction, and that habits are a powerful biological force that we can kind of cultivate. And you sound like you're cultivating that habit. And part of it is by eliminating the decisions of not checking your email first thing or not checking social media. And you're preserving your willpower because you're not subjecting it to all of those interruptions.
When you I think when you are able to like have some focused attention on the shit you need to get done, then that gives you more time to do the shit you want to do.
Absolutely.
It's not shit. It's worthwhile.
The worthwhile shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to ignore the phone or the television, but there is that space where you can say, what do I need to do? Or to get the momentum back, to get your groove back, if it's productivity and you know you need to do work. My default, once I recognize it, is to try and find something small that I can do.
Right.
You know, if I have to write a newsletter, I just can't get out of my own way to put the words together, I always just start with one sentence, right? If I can start with one sentence, then the second one comes. And I just give myself permission to just write the one sentence.
I love that idea of like, I have to write this thing, I have to write a paper, I have to write a newsletter, I have to write whatever it is I have to do. Like one sentence, just get that one thing done and you're cool. Like, love you. And that's paying attention to like your own, your own heart, your own, like what can help you feel like you're not a loser or screwing up. But Rob, before we wrap things up, I would like to know, like, there's so many things in here and so many tools. I could literally talk to you for 10 hours but we'd lose everyone's attention. So now that we still have everyone's attention, is there any big overarching idea that we haven't touched upon? What's the biggie that I'm missing?
Well, I don't, honestly, I think to me, the big takeaway, the more I've sat with the book and the more I talk about it, it's honestly, it's in the subtitle, The Power of Simple Decisions, or the idea of simple decisions. It goes back to the simple decision to write the first sentence. One of my go-to tools for productivity actually relates to meditation. We talked about this. It comes actually out of transcendental meditation, that when you are trying to learn how to meditate, if you fight the thought, you're really not going to do very well. So you have to acknowledge the thought and it kind of bubbles up and it goes away. And then you come back to your meditation practice and you go a little bit deeper every time. For me, the way that happens in work is I'll have that little thought that I'll say, oh gosh, I gotta make that doctor's appointment. And instead of, so I would stop what I was doing, switch over, call because I was going to forget.
Right.
But now I just capture it on a little piece of paper, right? This little blank piece of paper.
The blank sheet. Paper. That's the flip side of my question.
I capture the thought, it's safe, and then I get back to work. And it's this very simple, gentle process. And I don't beat myself up about it. Just being able to capture that and get back to work. And it helps me to maintain my focus every time my brain distracts me. Because it will.
Yeah. Yes, your brain will distract you. And I hope it didn't distract you while Rob and I were talking, because there were so many good ways to pay attention. Now, Rob, do you want to say out loud any of the places where people can find you and find out about this fabulous book, which literally just came out?
Simple enough to go to robhatch.com/attention. And you can also find me on the Twitters and the Instagrams at Rob Hatch on both those places. So
yes, and it's not any funky. There's no silent PH in Rob or anything like that. Rob Hatch, and all that will be down below. I want to thank Rob Hatch for being here. We have some tools now to pay better attention. So, like, you know what? Go pay attention to your own stuff. And thank you. If you like things, subscribe. I love to see you on Thursdays at some point during the month. I'm shaking it up because I'm paying attention. I can't do it all the time. But when I can do my true story, I love doing it with people like Rob, and I love having you here. And thank you so much. And Rob, thank you so much. And we'll see you later.
Thank you.
Bye.